Hi, and
Hey.
welcome to the Intuitive Angel live show.
Yes, we're live. Can you tell?
We are.
Hi.
That's because Dave is busy running around. So hi there, everybody who is tuning in to listen to us. We're here today, and we're going to be talking about spirits and things that go bump in the night. Hi there, everybody. So, Dave, do you
Hi.
ever hear things that go bump in the night?
Yes, I would like to hear things that go bump in the night. I would enjoy that immensely.
Well, it isn't so much about ghosts and hauntings, although I was doing some research. I work from a spiritist philosophy. Spiritists believe that our universes interconnect. And so the world of spirit and what we often think of heaven shares the same sun and moon with us and shares the same sphere, although in different layers or dimensions. Okay, so what does that mean? That means that we can cross over dimensions, and before scientists thought that that was impossible. They always believed, and I think since the early 1900s, they believed that there was such a thing as parallel dimensions. There was no problem with that, but nobody ever thought that it was an issue because they believed that we couldn't intersect. Just like that idea of time, like you can't meet yourself in time, or if you go back in time and you change something, it's going to screw everything up. Similar to that. So they believed that somebody from another dimension, if they came into our dimension, they would screw things up. Hi there, hi everybody. That we would that those spirits would screw things up. Unfortunately, and very fortunately, they don't, because the spirits and those on the other side, they're our friends. When I do readings for people, I can't tell you, hello everybody, I can't tell you how much and how exciting it is to see the wonderful spirits that are there to help them, to remind them of things, to give them advice and support as they move on with their lives. So to me, spirits are a wonderful part of the world. They can also be a little tricky. When somebody, does anybody out there know a jokester? You know, somebody who's like a practical joker. Well, yeah, okay, yes. When we go, yeah, Dave, thank you. When you're on the other side, you don't change. They don't hand you a harp and you don't sit on a cloud. You're pretty much whoever you are. So spirits who want to do jokes on people, they're around, and they've been called different things by different indigenous people. We often call them poltergeists, and most poltergeists are rather without any form. Okay, they don't mean to hurt anybody. As they can get stronger and stronger and stronger and actually change things, okay, those spirits can be troublesome, poltergeist spirits. So we're going to talk a little bit about those, see if anybody has a poltergeist spirit around them. I've been doing a lot of work on poltergeist spirits and colic in babies. We think sometimes that colic in babies can be a combination of different things. So it can be that the baby is a natural medium and that she's seeing a spirit, or he is seeing a spirit, and that she or he is inclined to stay up at night. There are people, and especially mediums actually, that stay up. Does anybody out there, do you stay up really late? Do you turn on like after midnight? So if you do, then it's very likely that you're a medium, because as things settle down, as the world changes, very good. As the world quiets around you, your connection to spirit becomes greater and greater, and so you become energized by it. The work that you do with connecting with your spirits is really important, because oftentimes you're going to free them from being with you, being next to you, and free them to go on and come to you from a different plane. So most ghost hunters and those who deal with trying to find spirit apparitions, they're usually dealing with earthbound spirits, or spirits that haven't left this dimension yet. When they're dealing with those earthbound spirits, you're dealing with spirits that really haven't resolved all their issues. So sometimes I don't know if anybody out there has felt just really sad, and you look around your life and you think, I shouldn't be sad about anything. What's wrong with me? Well, the thing is that you probably have a spirit attached to you or around you that's very, very sad. And since you're very empathetic, you're picking up on that spirit's angst or that spirit's worries. So that's what we're going to talk about tonight. We're going to be doing readings. I'm using a very special deck of cards. It's a new deck out of Italy, and they're called ghost cards. And what they do is they use archetypes to say to the medium, this is one of the spirits that may be around this person. So when you see the cards, I want you to know something, and that is that it's one of many possibilities. I may pick a card and say, wait a minute, no, I can see something totally different for you. And I want you to understand that the cards trigger me on a show like this. It's really good to have something that helps you. But sometimes it doesn't put me in the same direction that my mediumistic abilities will put me. So I'll look at the card and I go, don't think so. I think we're going to go with something else. And then we're going to use a separate deck of cards. This deck of cards has visuals or animals or things like this. Could you just wait a second? Hey, Dave, would you mind turning on the light?
Well, certainly.
Okay. So they have visuals on them that talk about the universal human condition. So we're going to turn those to see if we can't get what the spirits are saying. And there I am in full living color. I'm so excited.
There we go.
We're going to use the combination of the two cards, and then you're going to see intuition at play. And we're going to see what we can do with these readings. Now, one little bit, if you have not had an opportunity to get a reading, if you were in the back of the line as we were closing out, and we're going to be doing your readings the next show, we'll do those readings with whatever format we're using on that particular show, just so that you know, okay? So I'm going to do one real quick thing about the different types of ghosts. There are ghosts that are called residual hauntings. So you might be in a place where there was a big accident. Right by my house, a number of teenagers were killed, and I often see their spirits hanging around that location. Those residual ghosts are like an onion peel thing, where it's not really them. It's just because there was so much emotion and so much trauma that like little layers of them are stuck there. Okay, so that's residual ghosts, like the kind of thing you see on battlefields. Okay, the next one is anniversary ghosts. Anniversary ghosts will show up on an anniversary of some kind. So many times when you've lost a loved one, they'll come on their birthday or your birthday or an anniversary date. So they come on specific dates instead of around you all the time. Then there's intelligent ghosts. I love intelligent ghosts because intelligent ghosts are there and they're seeking to reach heaven, to reach a higher level of heaven by doing God's work, by helping us here in this dimension. So intelligent ghosts, they're not necessarily earthbound. They can be from a higher realm of heaven. And oftentimes in that higher realm of heaven, they study to see what they can do to help Amy out of her fix or help Aida out of her fix. You know, they're there to be helpful and guiding to you, and they're often called spirit guides, so we'll often use them as spirit guides. Then we have helpful spirits. Helpful spirits do things like say, watch out. Don't go that way to work today. They're often used in conjunction with angels. So the angel might send a spirit to talk to you, okay? And the angel might, the spirit might be able to connect with you to actually make you move, whereas the angel might have a little bit of trouble. Angels can't really move your destiny away. They need to be subtle, whereas the spirit doesn't need to be that way. So the spirit might tell you, don't go there, quit your job, do whatever it is that you need to do to change up your life, okay? And then we have poltergeists. Poltergeists are spirits that are playful, and they can be playful just by moving things or getting things to be lost. Today we found my cards in the linen closet. I mean, who knew? Why would my cards be put in the linen closet? I'm going to blame my granddaughter, but I don't think so. So anyway, they ended up in the linen closet, but we found them anyway, and at the nth moment. And then we have poltergeists that are stronger. They might actually begin to throw things around or open and close cupboard doors. It's said that a poltergeist really needs to utilize some of one person in the family's ectoplasm, they need to use your energy. So if you have a spirit that's moving things around a lot, I would look towards, usually they say a teenage person, but even any kind of a medium or psychic that has a lot of energy that the poltergeist can use. And when they get into the really disruptive state, they can actually pinch you or give you a shove or pull your hair, things like that. In general, they're neutral as far as being troublemakers go. They're not going to really give you, aside from scaring you half to death, they're not going to do anything really awful. They're non-demonic. Then we have orbs. So one of the things I'm thinking, and the orbs are in back of me. One of the things about orbs is that they're woo. They're very. They're a way that spirits travel. So a spirit that's moving from far away multidimensionally will often come in an orb and then just stay in that orb. So say the spirit wants to be in nature on my property and on some other people's properties around here. Sometimes you can see that the trees are just filled with orbs. Orbs are not reflected light off of insects or the wings of insects. Orbs are generally colored, so colored orbs are definitely not the reflection when you use your camera or the reflection of the moonlight. Now with digital photography, you don't get so much of that flash effect when you get orbs. After orbs, we have ectoplasm. Ectoplasm is really interesting because when I used to spend a lot of time down in Brazil, we got a lot of shots that had ectoplasm in them. And ectoplasm will look like a white tornado. So you can take a picture and then there's like this tornado and the tail of the tornado is going down. It can also look, to some people who are skeptical, like a hair on the lens of your camera. People will say, well, you did something. So if you're getting those ectoplasm experiences, please be sure that you move everything away from the lens of your camera. Ectoplasm means that those spirits really, really want to communicate with you. So you want to have as clean an area around so nobody can accuse you of having things in front of the camera that are causing these like white tornadoes. A vortex is a column of light, and a vortex is extra ectoplasm that can go right across a photograph, and that's always a spirit thing. And then the last, we have full-blooded apparitions, and so seeing mediums that actually see with their eyes and see the apparitions are rare. It doesn't happen too much because we filter it out. So anybody out there is seeing medium, put a heart up if you are. Seeing mediums don't happen all that often. I am a seeing medium, but I try not to because it can get a little disconcerting. Lots of seeing mediums. It can get disconcerting when you don't know who's alive and who's dead. And although people say that those apparitions, you can see through them, right? The truth of the matter is sometimes you can't. And you can't tell what's real and what's not real. And you're not really having a mental breakdown, I promise. It's just that one time I came downstairs where my office is, and there were like 10 military people all sitting around on the couches and on the chairs, and I was shocked, to say the least. And I at first I thought, well, what are you all doing here? Did you come with the client I was coming down to see, or what is this about? And then when I looked, they had on uniforms from many different wars, many different epochs, and it turns out that they were there to help a spirit who had been in Vietnam, who didn't know he was dead, and they, as comrades, they were helping him to move to heaven, which is so beautiful. I mean, it was a wonderful experience. But I saw them just like you're seeing me right here now. Until then, they just all went poof. And then you have to go in your office and you have to have a scotch or something. Okay, so we're going to start with our readings. Dave, who is first?
Okay, well, again, we're going to be doing people that were left over from last week. And so we didn't forget about you. We have a few.
Okay.
So let's start off with Dan. Dan was born October 24th, 1956. I believe this is Trucker Dan, originally from San Bernardino, California.
Okay, Dan, it's very interesting. You have a card of a cleric, somebody who was both a holy man and a warrior at the same time. He has a sword, but he's in front of the church window. These warrior clerics were common, back in the 16th, 17th century. They were defenders of the church, sort of like the Knights Templar were. So this spirit, and to tell you the truth, I even know that his name is Gregor, because he's talking to me right now. And he's there telling you that your wisdom and your power isn't waning at all, that the changes you're going through are just going to unleash new levels of wisdom and power. And then we're going to see the card that he wants you to know, that everything is connected. Although it may seem as if there's mistakes out there, or I recently had an accident, and so I would really like to say that God could have just emailed me, right? Be careful, Amy. And probably I wouldn't have opened up the email, though. But the accident gave me a gift, and I wouldn't have said so at the time, but it was the gift of being able to reflect, because I was forced to sit still. So that's what he's telling you. He's saying, just because you might not feel that you're solid right now, it doesn't mean anything. You have that gift of discovering everything that's connected, and everything that you learned, you're now going to apply to what you're doing now. So that's really exciting. Okay.
All right. Well, thank you very much there, Dan. We appreciate your patience. Next up is Frank, April 7th, 1952, in Plainfield, Illinois.
Frank. This is a magical spirit, or a spirit that actually has the ability to levitate things. So I would say offhand that this spirit is sharing his powers with you. He is trying to get you to step into your own magic. And sometimes we don't want to. Sometimes we're afraid. We don't, although we give lip service to the fact that we'd like to be magical, in truth, we just want to be regular like everybody else. So this spirit is telling you, you have to tap into your magical abilities. I would study. There are metaphysical universities, and if you want to give me a call, one of them is Clairgate, Clairgate, Clairgate College in the UK, and you can look them up online. And they have a wonderful metaphysical program. It's historical metaphysics, so you're going to actually learn something, and you might just unlock that power within. And let's see what else the spirit is saying. See the truth. So see the truth of who you are. You might have only been pretending to be who you thought you were. Pretty deep, Frank. Okay, take care.
All right. Thank you, Frank. We appreciate it. And we want to remind everybody, hi, can I sneak in here?
Yeah.
Hi, everybody. Hello.
It's Dave.
Hi.
Say hi,
Just
Dave.
want to remind everybody that don't forget that Amy here is doing $1 a minute readings through the 30th of December. Your Christmas present from her.
It is.
And the cool thing about this is you can get it for yourself. If you get it for yourself, yeah, you need to use it by the 30th, but they make a great gift. You can buy a half-hour reading for somebody and let us know, order it from us. We'll take care of all the particulars and send you a gift certificate, or we can send them a gift certificate. Either way.
Okay.
Gift certificates.
Gift certificate.
Amy, for sale.
Well, it gives you an opportunity to take advantage of the bargain, because normally an hour reading would be $100, a half-hour reading would be $60, so it's half price. So that's really pretty amazing.
It is, and it's now through the 30th. 630-554-7713 is the number to call, and we'll get you all squared away.
Okay, and one more commercial. Medium psychic development class is coming, not tomorrow, but next week. Is going to be about healing with the angels, dancing with the angels. And actually it's so interesting because I was getting ready to announce the class, and the angels literally told me this was what I was doing. So we're going to be doing connecting with angels, dancing with angels, healing with angels. So it's going to be great fun.
All right, again, that's going to be Friday, December 16th.
Right, and one more thing.
Hold on, no, it's going to be Friday the 16th. But it's also going to be Thursday the 15th.
Thursday the 15th from noon to 2, for those who don't like to drive at night or in the blizzard.
Right, Thursday the 15th, noon to 2, and then Friday the 16th, 7 to 9.
And we will be posting online. So on this page, the Intuitive Angels radio show page, I post the classes or the materials for the classes. So if you want to learn how to do soul retrieval, all you have to do is look on the page for the soul retrieval post, and you can listen to soul retrieval so you don't have to feel left out no matter what you are.
All right.
All right.
So that's at 83 Century Drive in Oswego. That's the place to be.
Okay.
All righty.
So who's this next?
Who is next? Let's see. Margarita is next.
Oh, Margarita.
Margarita, June 16th, 1977. She lives in the beautiful town of Oswego.
Okay, so Margarita, this is the ghost that's around you. It's a spirit of creativity. You can't really see too well here, but the ghost is putting things in a basket. This particular one is probably from mid-16th century, so she would be a spirit probably in Spain, so I'm just going to be spooky here. I'd say she was in Spain. I'd say she was probably associated with a court of some kind in the Spanish government. Her job was to be creative, to make the beautiful jewelry and some of the things that the ladies wore. That was her job. So when a spirit like that of creativity comes near you, you really have to honor her wishes in that she's asking you, don't be uptight. Go ahead and create something with your very own hands. And when you do, you're going to be doing something called wish crafting. It's actually where witchcraft came from. But you can wish beautiful things, like say a child is injured. You can, they have those blankets where you cut the fringes, or you can weave a blanket. And as you're doing it, you just put healing energy. You'd be amazed at what difference that can make in people's lives. So Margarita, you've got like a task at hand. And let's see what this one is. Oh, this is really nice. Trust in magic. That goes right along with what I said. So there you go. The spirits are there with us. Okay, next.
All right. Thank you, Margarita. We appreciate it so very much. Happy holidays to you. Selena's next, December 8th, the 19... this is not complete here, 19-something.
19-something, Selena.
Selena
Okay.
was born in the 20th century from Aurora, Illinois.
Okay, Selena, you have, he's making fun of my handwriting. You have a male spirit, probably someone who was used to being, maybe not a king exactly, but a baron. So he's sitting there on a throne. The thing about having a strong male spirit by you is that often they act as a deterrent to you actually having a decent relationship because they're so powerfully male, and it's hard to break out of that kind of trance state they create and allow yourself to have a relationship with a real flesh and blood person. So what you have to ask him is, does he want you to be happy? And the answer is going to be yes, he does want you to be happy, no doubt about it. Then he needs to let you make your own mistakes, or if you're really headed towards disaster, to give you a heads up. He can't just boss you around. So you can talk to the spirits as if they were your friends. Sit down, make yourself a cup of tea, and have an imaginary chat. So at first you're going to feel stupid, but soon you'll actually begin to be able to feel them and hear them. And so he's going to be supportive. Right now he's being bossy. And then the card that you have is the card of time to reflect. So it's the upside down lady. So it's listen to everything that you've learned and then take that into consideration and move into 2017 wiser and better and more open to relationship. Okay.
All right. Well, there you
go,
my dear. Okay, that was Selena. So next up we have, we have Diane, who was born September 21st, 1960 in Plano, Illinois.
Okay, Diane. You have the religious figure. Hello, everybody. The religious figure is a cleric, probably a bishop of some kind. This can be a problem for you because at that time, say this one is in the 1400s, He says his name is Kashmir. So I think that would make him probably out of whatever Poland was at the time. He is strict and wants you to get rid of material things. So he's making it hard for you to manifest the material things you'd like. One of the reasons is that really and truly, although the bishops and things certainly weren't poor, they did see monetary things as the source of all evil, even in their own life. And so often when they're there and you're a female and they're in your aura, they'll be telling you that you don't want to achieve the material gains that you'd like to achieve. Well, we live in a material society. You have to have a car, right? You want to have a house. Maybe you don't need a whole lot of things, but you need some things. So you have to tell him, and this is what you turn to him, and you say, money is fun and natural. It's okay that I have money. And he's going to laugh at first, but eventually he'll come over to your side. And then we're going to turn the card to see what the lesson is there. And this is really, really interesting. And it says, time to ground. So if he's gotten you upset and all discombobulated, you just need to ground yourself, because everything is going to change. I mean, if you're trying to sell a house, everybody out there, if you're trying to sell a house, February will be the time when all of a sudden the gates are going to open up. So don't get too settled in and think it's going to take forever, because February is the time. Okay, take care.
Is that for everybody?
Yeah, it's actually for everybody. There's like a shift in the economy. It doesn't have anything to do with politics. It has to do, people have been so repressed. Either life has gotten so polarized, but eventually when that happens, there comes a time when there's a cross. Okay, so the people who are prejudiced, and then the people who are trying to fight them and everything, suddenly there's like a merging of energy, and then everybody's out there and everybody wants to change their circumstances. Everybody wants to buy a house. Everyone wants to do things. And so it almost creates chaos in the financial industry. So it'll be a very good time to be a loan originator. It'll be a very good time to work in a bank or a financial company. But get ready that, like, for instance, people who close houses, that they'll be overwhelmed. So just get ready, pack those bags, keep them by the door, and then you're going to be on your way in a not too long a time.
All right, okay. Cool. All right. Next up we have Vanessa.
Yeah.
Vanessa, April 21st, 1987 in Chicago.
Okay, Vanessa. This is really interesting. And Vanessa, we have a spirit that's barking. Yes, it's Bob Marley. Bob Marley is barking. I don't know why. But you have the Lovers. It's interesting because these two spirits can be very disconcerting in that they are not, hello Bob Marley, that they are, they're all into each other, right? So it can make you feel abandoned or as if you're not getting your needs met. Because you have, it's just like, remember back in the day we used to say no PDA, that's no public display of affection, right? They have a very public display of affection for each other. They really, really, really love each other, and it can get really, really tiring. So what you have to do is say, okay guys, take it to another room, it's okay. And then any feeling you have inside of yourself that you're overwhelmed or not supported, you have to deal with it. You have to go out and ask your friends for support. That's very important, so that you can feel a little bit more like the Lovers instead of feeling overwhelmed. And then the card is, see yourself in nature. And isn't that funny, because that balances out that emotional seesaw that the Lovers are on. So if you go out into nature, you're going to be really good. Take care, Vanessa.
All righty. Thank you very much, Vanessa. We appreciate it. Okay, next up we have Natalie.
Okay, Natalie.
Natalie, October 27th, 1989, from, I'm imagining Illinois, otherwise parts unknown.
Okay, Natalie. You have the Seeker of Truth. Dionysius was said to go looking for truth with a lantern. The trouble with truth. I should write a book, The Trouble with Truth. The trouble with truth is it doesn't really exist. My scientist, I had a wonderful guy here the other day, and he was an engineer, and he said, well, Maxwell's theorems are the truth, or physics is the truth. And it's only the truth so long as it's not, so long as it's true for the time, because that's as far as we can understand it. So what I see when a spirit like this is around, you have to settle for feelings instead of the truth. I feel that this is right for me at this time. So for instance, if you're a Catholic, is being a Catholic the true thing? If you're a Democrat, is that the true thing? If you're a Republican, is that the true thing? The answer is no. The answer is it might be true for you today, but it might not be true for you tomorrow. So that's what this spirit is bringing to you. And you just have to say, okay, I hear you. Thank you for giving me your opinion, but this is how I'm feeling or believing today, and I'm open to taking in information and changing my mind. So it's a spirit that helps you to learn how to be flexible. And let's see the card. Oh, this is really nice. This is the ladybug, and it's surrender to the flow. And that's exactly it. I love how this works, don't you? Don't you just really love it when it comes together like that? So it's surrender to the flow. Understand that things are ever changing, and you pick and choose the things that work for you at the time. And when you do that, you're going to find what you're looking for, which is essentially happiness. Okay, take care.
All right, thank you, Natalie, for chiming in. We appreciate it very much. All right, almost finished with last week's.
Okay, so I'm patient people.
So thank you for being patient, everybody. Next up, we have Lisa Marie. I'm sure no relation to the famous Lisa Marie. December 12th, 1969.
Ah, Lisa Marie.
It's from Naperville.
It's the person on the spirit is the waiting spirit. Back when I was a kid, we had the Korean War, so all the men went off to war and all the women waited for the men. It was before women went off to war too. So he is telling you to wait, telling you to be patient. Now, the problem with that kind of a spirit is, although eventually things come together, maybe not in this lifetime, you still have to deal with this lifetime. So he might whisper in your ear, wait, don't change your job, wait, don't start a business, wait, don't go into a relationship. It's good, that's fine, okay? But you have to be able to say, you know what, I need to learn some things. I still have my goal in my heart, but I have to move forward. And he'll be helpful to you in that regard. But he's definitely a male spirit, and he's definitely someone who's cautious and wants you to wait for whatever the right time to come back and around. So don't let him stall you too much. Okay, and now we have, this one is, stay strong. Isn't that something, Dave? So stay strong. Right. You want to stay strong against that idea of always having to wait. You want to go ahead, take a deep breath, move in the direction your heart is telling you, and then you can come back to see if the right moment has come. Remember that it's complicated, but it's going to work for you. Okay, take care.
All right. Well, thank you very much there. We appreciate it. Next up, we have, and you know what? She just joined us, so good timing there. Clara Bell.
Ah, cool.
November 28th, 1977. She just had a birthday recently, out of Aurora, Illinois.
Okay. It's a hard one to see, but here in the dark, there's a soldier, and the monk spirit is coming to give him some water. So what this means is that you're a natural healer. The healing energy, the kindness flows through you. Sometimes when you're kind, you feel as if you're not being rewarded for being kind, because oftentimes the people you're kind to are too broken to stand up and down and say, hey, Clarabelle, thank you so much, giving you a big hug. They might just groan and kind of roll over. But this spirit tells you, no, reach out, be kind. You would do well when you have this kind of a spirit with you to go at this time of year to homeless shelters or to help people give out baskets of food or anything like that. The spirit and you working together can work wonders. That's a beautiful spirit to have. And then your card is show that you care. This is kind of getting spooky. So it's show people that you care. Reach out and show people that you care. That's the message from Spirit to you. So take care, dear. Bye-bye.
All right.
All right.
Again, reminding everybody, don't forget, Healing with Spirit, Mediumship and Psychic Development class, happening December 15th from noon till 2, and then Friday the 16th from 7 to 9.
Put your face here. There he is.
That's me. Okay. Perfect face for radio. Okay. All right. Now we got rid of last week's. We're done with those.
Look, you got the thumbs up for perfect face for radio. That's good. Okay, let's start.
Here, well, I'll tell you what. I'll add my very own there.
Ah, cool.
Okay, it'll come here in a second.
Okay.
But anyway, first one up is Maria.
Okay, Maria.
And she was born June 6th, 1958, Chicago, Illinois. Oh, there's my little man right there.
I know. How cool is that? Okay, Maria. You have the three spirits: faith, hope, and charity. Spirits of spiritual evolution. So they would be giving you answers to your questions that you don't like necessarily. They would always be taking that higher road, that loftier way of looking at things, when actually sometimes you might not really feel as if you want that higher road. You might feel as if you're wanting to just pull the covers up over your head. But if you ask them what they would do and then listen one at a time, they can give you a pretty good template. Not necessarily what's perfect for you, but a direction that you want to move in. So I wouldn't let them bug you, but I would definitely listen to them. And let's see what kind of card is here. Share your thoughts. So once again, you sit, if there was a round table, faith, hope, and charity sit at the table, and so do you. So you can share your thoughts on what they're suggesting and then come to an accord. So you're all in harmony with each other. So as you move forward, you can move forward in grace. Okay, take care, Maria.
All right, thank you very much, Maria. We appreciate it. All right, next up we have Janice. January 2nd, 1995 in Aurora, Illinois.
Okay, Janice, you have the bride. The bride is always about unfulfilled desire.
You know, she did have some questions.
Okay.
I apologize. I didn't see the notes from your clear handwriting. Okay. She just wanted to know about career and future, love life. You're on that right now.
Okay.
And if there's any signs from grandma and her cousin on the other side.
Huh, that's interesting. So let's go with grandma, because it could be that grandma was in love. Although it might not be that grandma was in love with grandpa. It could be that grandma had someone who she really, really cared about when she was younger. You know, back in the day, there were a lot of arranged marriages, or I know my own grandfather had to marry a woman who was the sister of the woman he loved. That's the family legend, because the older sister got married first. That was just the rules back in those days. So he had to marry the older sister, even though he was quite in love with the younger sister. So this yearning of having the completion, of having that wonderful youthful love, I think is coming from grandma. So she's probably telling you that you have to look outside of yourself, that you have to look to take better care of the situation that you're in. Don't settle, she'd be saying. So don't settle for a job. Don't settle for love or a loveless life just to have a companion in your life. She's very strong like that and wants you to know that the best possible thing you can do in her mind is to wait for that true love, to connect to the person who your heart calls out to. On the other hand, grandma lived her life, right? So you can say, yep, I know, but I want companionship, or yes, I know, but I can move to my perfect job in steps. So when the spirits talk to you, You can always talk back. It's not like you're whining or telling them no, but you are here now. You're material, and they are not. So their experience and what they're trying to say to you can be important. It's always important, but you, in the end result, you're the one who's here, living your life, and things do change. And so, as a psychic, I'm going to tell you that love the one you're with, probably change your job, and you are very, very intuitive and very connected as far as empathy goes, and you should use that to better your life. Okay, take care.
Okay, thank you, Janice.
Oh, I didn't do her card. It's see the signs, use your intuition. Okay, go figure.
Okay, from Grandma.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. And next up we have Deborah.
Okay, Deborah.
Deborah, born February 6, 1958 in Chicago.
Okay. In the spirit world, there's also alchemy. So spirits have access to changing energy, and what this is telling you is you have that in the material sense, so that you can change the energy around you, and the spirits will be with you, helping you to change the energy. It's hard to accept that, isn't it? Because you think, like, why would you give yourself grief if you can change everything? But you really, in order to change the energy in the best possible way, you really have to take a deep breath. You have to center yourself. You don't necessarily have to know what you're looking for, but you do have to know the direction you're going in. That's what's so important. And then the card for you is know your power. Know your power. Isn't that interesting? Because it's exactly the same. Know your power. You can be transformative, but take your time doing it one step at a time. Okay, take care.
All right. Thank you, Deborah. We appreciate you so much participating. And again, if you're just joining us, everybody, don't forget, Amy has $1-a-minute readings. $1-a-minute readings. That's me. That's the magic voice. $1-a-minute readings.
And we can now do it on Skype, so you can actually see me. I do the drawings and the cards if you're on the telephone, and I send you a picture of them, so you get to see what we're talking about. Or, of course, in person, because I always love to see you.
That's right. Or by phone.
Or by
stuff.
Yeah.
And what kind of readings? You can do aura assessments. And she can do energy readings. You know, Amy, I used to think an aura assessment was somebody sitting there going, yep, that's an aura. But it's more deeper than that, much more deeper than that. And also, of course, there's angel readings, energy readings, there's past life readings, spirit animal readings.
Okay. And then there's also what's going to happen through the new year. So I think, for me, one of the things that's the most exciting is to know ahead of time what the energy might be bringing you. So I like to do the first 3 months of the year at this time. So then if it's a very positive, you can hit it. If it's negative, you can transform it. If it's neutral, you can ramp it up. So you have that ability to change so long as you know what you're changing. Okay.
All right, the number to call if you'd like to make an appointment or a gift certificate for somebody else. It's only $1 a minute. You're welcome to prepay. 630-554-7713. Okay, next up we have Kelly.
Okay.
Kelly, let's see, July 13th, 1975, Tampa, Florida. That's where Kelly's from.
Kelly, you have an interesting spirit, an actual spirit inside of an orb, and the color is green. It's the spirit of love, and it also has yellow in it, and it's a spirit who helps you to love what you're doing and to be able to make money doing it. So you're actually in a time when you can do amazing things with the help of this spirit. The spirit's name is actually Elvira, not like the one that was on, what was that show where the monster or something? But
Yuli?
Yeah, like wasn't there Elvira who did the spooky movies too?
Yeah.
Not like that. This Elvira is there to juice up whatever you're doing, to give you that extra energy to do it. So she is incredibly lucky. But you have to keep up your physical health in order to be able to deal with her, because she's going to push you in all kinds of different directions. And then this one is seek your destiny. So it means sometimes when we go to do something different, when we go into business for ourselves, or when we're really, really busy, or we have a dream, we will abort that dream. We'll get tired, or we'll think it's not working. And this card tells you, don't do that. Just push forward. You're going to be very successful at what you're doing. Okay, take care, Kelly. Okay.
All right. Thank you very much, Kelly. We appreciate it. Doug up next. Doug was born June 4th, 1970 in Winfield, Illinois. You know, we're going to be playing a trio. My band is going to be playing in Winfield.
Really?
Saturday night at 8. John's Restaurant.
John's Restaurant. Okay, be there. Be there. Be square. All right. You have a knight. What it means is that you have a tendency to solve problems by physical power. Okay, it's not. He's not only a knight, like a crusader knight, but he's also been knighted. So he has certain very important rules. And so that would mean that you too would share those rules. You're probably chivalrous. You probably think the world should be a much better place. But the knight has a skeleton down below. So what he's trying to tell you is life is a book in progress. And anything that you might have done that was outside of the code, you just reinforce your code and move on. Because he himself, the ghost with you, is trying to resolve his feelings of having done wrong. And he might give you that anxiety. So he wants you not to make the same mistake. So it's not like you make the same mistake again, like you don't get up every morning and drug deal. You might have, but you wake up and you say, no, I'm going to help others to have better choices, okay? So that's the kind of spirit that's around you. It actually predicts you being quite successful if you stick to your standards. Okay, and then what's the next one here? And it says here, seek the answers that are within you. So that's that code of conduct. That's that knight-like feeling. That's that person who maybe in war had to do something they didn't want to do, or now feel bad about. But you have to move on because there's many people to help in the future. Okay, take care.
All right. Thank you very much. We appreciate it so much. Thank you, Doug. Out there from Winfield, home of John's Buffet. We'll be here at Trio at 8 o'clock Saturday night. Well, I got to get a plug in when I can, right, Amy? Right. All right, next up we have Pat. Pat was born March 29th, 1959 in San Bernardino, California.
Okay, Pat, you have a very, very strong motherly female spirit next to you. Sometimes when you have that kind of a spirit, my hunch is she's there to protect you, and I actually can see a plague field. So what that is back in Europe at the time of the bubonic plague, some people could walk the fields and not die. We now know that they were very deficient in iron, and that the plague bacteria really likes an iron-rich body, so many young boys were killed. So she's still looking out for you. You might still, it's called miasms, you might still have some things that affect your health, and she's there trying to protect you from life. You can greatly aid her by taking better care of yourself. And that anxiety that you feel that you're not pleasing someone, which can leak into your personal life and into your public life at your job and everything, will go away once you give into a little bit. So once again, eat organic, take care of yourself, do all the normal little things, drink lots of water, and then the two of you can become partners rather than her making you feel guilty. Okay, take care. Oops, I forgot his card, my God. Know you belong. I love that. So yes, you belong. You belong to this century. You belong to this time, and you need to take care of yourself. Okay, take care.
All right, Pat, thank you very much, man. We're going to celebrate our birthdays together. Jim is next. Getting a lot of guys lately.
I like it.
Yeah. Jim, February 21st, 1957. And what is that, Amy?
Rantoul, Illinois, Rantoul Air Force Base.
All right.
Okay, you have wolf. You can't have ghosts without having animal ghosts, and wolf is one of the most powerful animal ghosts. There's also in your card a full moon, so that means that you're very, very affected by the full moon, and that many of the qualities of wolf are qualities that are inside of you. It's almost as if the wolf passes through you and you pass through the wolf. Are you a lone wolf or are you a pack animal? This wolf is depicted with a second wolf next to it. I would say that if you're not in a relationship, or you're in a relationship where you're distant, you pretend like you're in a relationship, but you're not really, you need to have that relationship. You need to know that someone has your back. It's very important, because that's what makes wolves formidable, because they have those other wolves that have their back. And also that you should really look to moon energy to energize you. So if you have a special thing you're going to do, I would do it under the energy of the full moon, because it's really, really wonderful for you. And then let's see what your card is here. Oh, this is really crazy.
That's weird.
Wolf.
You saw it here first, folks.
I know, it's like the whole room is just filled with spirits. And I mean, I didn't set this up ahead of time. I'm like absolutely shocked. And it's seek the lesson. It's so learn to use your power, learn to use that wolf energy, and all will be well. Take care.
Wow.
I know. That's freaky.
That's crazy. Yeah, you never cease to weird me out there, Amy. What can I say? All right. Well, Jim, there you go, buddy. You are the wolf. Okay. Next up, we have Diane. Diane was born August 24th, 1959, in Chicago.
Okay, Diane, in the spirit world, there are such things, they're called water spirits. This is more from Native American or indigenous philosophy, but water spirits are about cleansing and learning. Water absorbs energy and returns it to people. So this spirit is putting energy into water so that it can be used for healing. So that means that you're a natural healer. What you might try, just for fun, is taking a glass of water, putting your hand over the glass of water, and then imbuing it with a quality. So say you know somebody who has headaches, so you imbue it with the quality that reduces the pain of headaches, and then just bottle it up and give it to somebody and see how it works. You actually have, with the help of the spirit, the ability to do that. I just wouldn't get too complicated about it. Try to keep it simple. You can imbue one glass of water with very many different things, and ask the water spirit. So she's one of those spirits that the more you talk to her, the more she's going to help you, the more she's going to help you to learn. And then your card is, know your fears. So don't be afraid of working with the spirit. Don't worry about it. She's there for you. She's part of the elemental nature spirits. She's part of our world. She's not anti-God, anti-Christ, anti-Buddha. She is just like air that we breathe. And we're learning now, as we're moving forward scientifically, that scientists are imbuing water with different energies, and there's no side effects, and people are getting better. I'll be talking about it more later, but it's really an exciting time, especially to have a water spirit with you. Okay, take care.
All right, thank you, Diane. We appreciate it. Good luck with that water spirit. Next up, we have Lupe. December 18th, she got a birthday coming up, so happy future birthday, Lupe. December 18th, 1973, in Aurora, Illinois. She's going to be taking a trip here shortly. Wants to know how it's going to go.
So she has the spirit that's breaking out of the tower. This is a spirit that we based our tale of Rapunzel on. Rapunzel, Rapunzel, down your long hair. The idea is that it's a female spirit who wants you to go off and have adventures, but at the same time wants to be safe. So when you ask about a trip, you really can't have an adventure and be safe. It doesn't. It doesn't work that way. You have to be able to take some risks, although you can be smart about the risks that you take. I guess what it's saying is don't be afraid. Go ahead and leave that tower and enjoy yourself and bring back lots of wonderful stories from your travels. And let's see what the card says. And the card says, honor Gaia, honor the earth, which is travel the earth, go do different things, go learn different things, honor the earth, and all will be well. Okay, take care.
All right, thank you very much, Lupe. We appreciate it.
Okay.
All right, next up we have Karen Marie, March 22nd, 1981, somewhere in Oklahoma.
Okay, Karen, just as Lupe before you had the water spirit, this is the spirit of fire, another elemental spirit. You would be amazed. Okay, a very good trick to try is find a place and light a candle where there's no breeze, no forced air heat blowing, nothing happening, and put the candle on a table. With a spirit like this next to you, you should be able to move the flame just by requesting it to move. You don't strain yourself or try to move it with your mind. You just want to request the flame to wave, request it to move back and forth. As you do that, you're going to find that you become more and more one with fire, and that it gives you a certain feeling of being connected, being satisfied, having a relationship with the elements. And that's going to unleash a lot of the tension inside of you. So play that game. I think you'll find it fascinating. And let's see what your card says. Your card says, heed your dreams. That's really important. So once you start playing with the element of fire, different things may open up, different dreams, different memories, different ways to move forward. And it's going to be very exciting for you. So take care.
All righty, there you go. Thank you, Karen. Okay. We appreciate it so much. All right, Dan, you're next. June 1st, 1951 in Illinois.
Okay, Dan. This card has a large lion. It has a female knight, and it has a child. One of the things is to be able to connect power, the lion, wisdom, the knight, and the childlike tendencies within you. So I think the spirit you want to worry about is the child. I think you are inclined to protect children, inclined to protect this child spirit, and you have to trust that there are lots of things helping you to do that, so that it would be like if you have a family and you want to go to the North Pole and you're not quite sure if you'll survive going to the North Pole, but you really need to go. The tricky part here is to trust that those in your charge are going to be fine, and that sometimes you just have to follow your heart. Okay, and then let's see what this says. This says, heed the messenger, listen to your psychic, and go have an adventure. Okay, take care.
All right, moving right along. How about Carol? April 21st, 1937 in Sycamore, Illinois is where she's from.
Okay, Carol. In your case, this is the union of spirit. Once again, it's a different type of a bride. It's the what God has put together, let no man put asunder, that kind of energy. When you have a spirit like that, they can be very, not closed-minded, but rigid, hardening of the attitudes, They can believe it has to be this way. And you don't really want to always believe that. So you have to help this spirit to understand that there's many different ways to find joy. And you can do that. You can say, hey, let's try this. Let's just not wait around and cry. Let's do something else. So I think your job in this lifetime is to help this spirit to evolve, and you'll feel it. When she gets it, she'll go like, "Phew," and you're going to be shocked and amazed that you released her, and she's going to pay you back tenfold for releasing her. Meanwhile, oh, this is beautiful. Have courage. Have courage. You're going to win, and you're going to actually take her, and you're going to change her entire outlook, and she's going to appreciate you and everything you do. So take care, Carol.
All right. Thank you, Carol, too. And also, don't forget that tonight's episode is being brought to you by Amy's Dreamy Mud Mask.
Yeah, you can click on the link below. We sell mud masks on Amazon, and we also have a wonderful friend who makes baby carriers, so they're multi-positional baby carriers. So if you have that colicky baby, you can click on the link and order one. And right now,
well, you wear it like a vest kind of thing. It's you
right. You can wear it in the front, to the side,
and
and back.
It's cool.
It's a multi thing, and they have very nice patterns. And we chose to make it in brown so that it was kind of universal, and so it didn't get dirty all the time. So if you have a colicky baby, it's nice the baby can be on your heart, and you can kind of wear the baby instead of the baby wearing you out. So they're on the links that are on the Intuitive Angel Radio Show page. Just click through and check it out. And they're on special sale. The mud mask is for just $7.50, normally $19.95, and the carriers are on sale for $12.50, and they're normally $39.95. So we're really trying to get customers out there to test them out, to give us great testimonials, and I hope that you do too.
Well, that mud mask is special, though.
It's
Dead Sea mud, right?
It's Dead Sea mud along with honey. It absolutely, it wipes out rosacea, it wipes out acne. It's absolutely amazing for your skin. It gets rid of those dead layers of skin. I spent a lot of time. I formulated it. It's made here, manufactured in the United States, and it's something that you've got to try just to see what it's like.
They're like 60% off, folks. $7.50 a bag.
Really exciting.
All righty, so and you get lots of treatments in a bag, right?
Right.
All right. So Amy's Dreamy Dead Sea Mud Mask. Check it out. Okay. Next up, we have Renee. She was born December 12th, 1968.
Okay, let me explain a little bit about spirits. They're called obsessing spirits, and what that means is that they may be really angry at you for something you did in a past life or even in this life. They may love you. They may want you to be with them. They may want to have the relationship that they had with you when all of you were alive together. They might desperately want that. And sometimes they see you're not even that person that was alive when you were all alive together. You're somebody different, but they only see your soul. They see that energy of you. So what you have here is two spirits, a little child and then a male, who are very intent on getting you to pay attention to them because they don't want you to go off with someone else and be happy. This is where prayer comes in because they don't mean to be mean, but they can create a lifetime of unhappiness or unease for you. And again, they don't have negative thoughts for you. They just want what they want. Isn't that like a lot of us, right? So you need to pray for them. You need to say, go to the light because I'll be there with you. Just your soul, this is just a fragment of your soul. If they go to the light, they'll be able to reunite with you even though you have this lifetime that you're living. And they need to do that so that they can move on. So instead of harassing you, they can actually bring you many blessings if they move forward. You'll know when they do because it'll feel like a whoosh, and great joy will fill your heart. But it's going to take a little bit of doing and a little bit of praying. And there's a piece of you that misses them. So you recognize them and you yearn for them also. But you're here now, and you're here to do the best possible you can in this time space, in this reality, and that's really important, okay? And then let's see what your strength card is. And it says, this is interesting. Hear the ancient ones, and the ancient ones are always saying, be present. So be present to your life right now, and all will be well. Take care.
All right. Thank you, Renee, dear.
Okay.
All right. Next.
Yay.
Yay, what?
That was a good. It's a hard concept to explain, that obsession,
Yeah,
but it happens.
I understand.
Okay.
I know what you mean. I know what you mean. I feel that way about Modern Family.
You are obsessed with Modern
I
Family.
love that show. Next up, we have Dagmar. She was born January 18th, 1971, in Charleston, Washington. Well, that's Clarkston, Washington, isn't it?
Yeah.
Clarkston, Washington.
Okay. This is a tricky one. You came into this lifetime of being asked to have faith. So the spirit that's next to you is similar to the spirit, and I don't have my Bible down, where the one gentleman in the Bible was asked to stab his son. Do what the Lord says, right?
Is it Job?
I'm not sure. In this case, it's the light, and the spirit is saying, don't be afraid to walk off the cliff. So here's the cliff. You're surrounded in light, but you're hesitating. So the cliff could be a job you love. It could be have another child. It could be change your circumstances. Don't hesitate to take that kind of risk, even if in the past you've been frightened. This is a very powerful spirit, third chakra spirit with all the yellow, saying that if you're not willing to take the risk, you're not going to have the joy in your life that you want. And his name is actually Seth. So you can actually talk to him. I think he probably lived a life where he had to make that choice, and maybe he hesitated. So now his job is here to help you make that choice. And let's see what gift you have. And the gift that you have is follow the moonlight. So it's allow yourself to use the power of the moon to help you make your decisions. Okay, Dagmar, take care.
All right. Thank you for tuning in there, Dagmar. We appreciate it. Okay, Felicia. Could this be our friend, Felicia?
It could be.
Who's been on the radio show with us before?
Yes, wonderful.
That's
Felicia.
right, yes. Let's see. May 30th, 1953, from Woodridge, Illinois.
Felicia, it's about the river Styx. Being willing to cross between realities. It's not so much about dying, although you might have a lot of death around you when this spirit is with you. It's to show you that there is no real boundary between here and there. It's a tricky one, and I don't think you should take a deep breath, and instead of feeling fear, you should feel the adventure, because it is an adventure, and that in your case, the spirit moves you back and forth between dimensions. So it might be back and forth between anger and joy. It might be back and forth between fear and sadness. But the key is that you will find that middle zone, that middle place where you're going to have happiness. And let's see what your gift is. And the gift is focus and then act. That you can make things come true, that you can change the world with your focus, and all will be well. Take care, Felicia.
All right. Thank you very much, Felicia. And she can also change the world with her smile.
She can. Thank you, Dave.
She can take a nothing and suddenly make it all seem worthwhile.
Okay, Dave.
All right. Mary is next. March 3rd, 1944, from Cary, Illinois.
Okay, it's the tied up angel. Let's see, how do I say? Your angel is so in love with you that she would do anything to help you and to give you what you desire. The problem is she's bound by a vow that she cannot directly change your destiny. So you have to be able to almost do a mind meld with her so that you can see the direction you have to go in without her interfering. Because she's there, she wants to help you, she loves you, but you ultimately have to make your own decisions. So once you feel her presence, her love for you will guide you to make the right choices. And see this one? This is very interesting. Embrace the feminine and all that it entails. It means that the angel is telling you, look, it's time to be that amazing, powerful, and yet girly girl. It's a beautiful card, and I think you'll find a lot of direction if you do look towards the feminine, towards the goddess. Okay, take care.
All right. Thank you so much, Mary. We appreciate it.
That was exciting.
Was it exciting?
It was exciting for me because the feminine, it just came out. I mean, didn't you feel it out there? You know,
All right.
feminine energy.
And we'd like to remind everybody that if it's not Wednesday night when you're watching this, please don't request a reading.
No. Actually, he's wrong.
I'm wrong?
You're wrong because you can indeed request a reading. You can put if you're watching this and it's not Wednesday night, you will be one of the first in line. I copy off all the people.
I'm so sorry. I didn't know you did that.
Gave their name, their birth date, and their place of birth, or not place of birth, just where they are right now. And then you're going to be first in line for next week. So go ahead and do that. Put it down. Say, do me next week. And I will.
I'm sorry about that. I didn't realize.
Okay.
I didn't know you were doing that. Patricia's next. She was born, let's see. She was born, May 11th, 1966, in Maywood, Illinois.
Okay. This is really interesting. It's a spirit that turned his life around. So I don't think you can see there. He has a sword, and obviously he had a more warlike nature, but he came back to be with the woman he loves, and then there's a rainbow on the card. So what that means is anybody can change. The spirit is the spirit of change. So sometimes, I always tell everyone that hardening of the attitudes is worse than hardening of the arteries. It means that you can feel free to change. You don't have to be set in your ways. That if you take a deep breath, you can turn around and you can find the love that you desire. And all the rainbow indicates all will be well. I love this spirit because this spirit, whose name is Gregor, he is real. He is there with you. And he's saying to not be afraid to modify your thoughts and the way you're thinking about things. So I think that's just absolutely wonderful. And then your spirit, of course, is embrace the masculine. So it's the green man, and it's that masculine energy, but in that masculine energy, you can also discover the divine feminine. So take care.
Hey, what's wrong with the masculine?
Masculine is good. I didn't say anything was wrong with
Okay,
it.
thank you, Patricia. We appreciate
It's
it.
really, 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 really good.
Okay, pronounce that for me, Amy.
Rita.
Okay. Usually you put a T, you put a cross on the T there. Okay.
Okay.
Rita, she was September 12th, 1954, in Illinois.
Okay, Rita. Every once in a while you get a gaggle of spirits. Say a family dies suddenly while yelling and screaming at each other. They tend to yell and scream throughout a lot of eternity at each other. It's not a bad thing. They're working things out. They're coming to a place of peace and discovery, but it looks as if you're probably really psychic and you probably have a lot of noise in your head from all these spirits arguing all the time. So what you have to say to them is cut it out. Cut it out, sit down, be good, shut up, and let's take one at a time what you need. So what they need will reflect what you need because we're all one. So if you look at what your needs are one at a time, and you're not going to get scared and you're not going to get weirded out, like for instance, make a list. What do you need? Do you need to have your closet clean? Do you need to get a job? Do you need to make more money? Do you need to get a roommate? What exactly do you need in your life? And then go for it. Really and truly, one need a day. You might not realize it in one day, but at least you've made strides forward. And as you do that, you're actually going to do these spirits. The greatest gift of all is you're going to free them from their entanglement. So it's not easy, Rita, but it's doable, and you have all the wonderful tools to be able to do it. And then let's see what your gift is here. And your gift says embrace the dark. It means don't be afraid of these people. Don't be afraid of feeling up and down or feeling as if life is strange. It's okay. It's okay. You can make your way through it, and you will come into a very joyful and wonderful spot. Take care.
All right. Thank you so much, Rita. We appreciate you chiming in with the show. Carolyn, August 12th, 1991, from Everett, Washington.
Okay, Carolyn, I picked 2 cards for you because you've had a lot of things that have caused you to be embroiled in things. If not physically embroiled, you've had family and friends that have been maybe not as happy as they could be, and you need to get away. So you have the card that means that you get embroiled in a lot of emotional things not of your own doing. And the second one is that you need to be able to fly. So what it means is you have a tremendous imagination. You have the ability to extricate yourself from any situation, and you're going to be, the spirit around you is the spirit of freedom, and she's going to help you escape in very many ways. Just leaving the negative energy behind and moving into just soaring. I'm so excited for you because having that spirit who helps you to soar is really exciting. And let's see what your gift is. And then the gift is, in doing this, you want to be patient. You can't make a move right away. It's hard to extricate yourself from craziness, but you'll be able to do it. Just have a little patience. And I actually see this as happening around February. So you're going to get away from the craziness, and you're going to have some fun and feel free. Okay, take care.
All right, there you go, Carolyn. We appreciate it. Next up, hey, how about Julia? She was born December 13th, 1977 in Dundee, and getting ready to celebrate a birthday.
Okay, Julia, there's a very special spirit. She goes by many different names, but one of the names she goes by is Joan of Arc. She's about believing in something so totally that she's able to change the world. I think that belief, or that totality of belief that you have, is so powerful, and it may mean that you don't have the joy or the freedom or the happiness that you think you want. But what you really want to do is make the sacrifice and change the world. That's important. So you have to figure out exactly what that is. I'm not positive that there's a cozy cottage at the end of the road and that you're going to have that kind of ideal life, because being a warrior of God is not that easy. But once you accept your destiny, then there'll be peace of mind, and I think that's really what you need. And then let's see this one, and it says here, challenge your perception, which is exactly what I said. Your idea of what it is that's going to make you happy, or the perfect relationship, you want to challenge that. You want to think, well, maybe not. Maybe you need to go off and do the things you want to do. Maybe you can't live up to somebody else's idea of you. You're in a real transitional time, and you just want to take a deep breath and probably work with a few people so that you can understand your own powers and the right direction to move into. So take care.
Okay, thank you very much there, Julie. We appreciate it, as always. And Ute wrote in.
Okay.
Basically, if we could repeat the phone number for the $1 a minute personal or gift certificate special.
Okay, you know, the best number to use is 630-554-5040. Our other number is 630-554-7713. But the 5040 you can text, so if you can't make a quick call, You can text us, and we answer you right back, and we can text back and forth, and we can make appointments. And I'd love to see you. Take care.
630-554-5040. Okay, next up is Kelly. August 21st, 1981, from Parts Unknown.
Okay, Kelly. You have a monk. Sometimes when you have a religious figure like this, it's hard for you to feel as if you're free, because you suffer the same emotions that they did. And in this case, this monk is yearning to go home, but he can't, because he is serving God. The die is cast. He's in the monastery, and there's no turning around, no going back. So you might feel like that. There's no turning around, no going back, even though you really, really want to. The truth is that if you're imprinted with a happy moment, if you remember a moment of happiness, you can always go back to that. So the monk isn't always right. And he's not always right in that kneeling down and praying isn't going to do everything. It's a wonderful tool, but sometimes you've got to pick yourself up by the bootstraps and do something yourself. So in the case of the monk, you want to say, take my hand. We're going to move forward. We're not going to stand here frozen in time and space. I'm going to help you and you help me. So you got to be tough. Okay. And then the gift card is, be tough, but no malice. Don't be mean. No malice. You can be strong, but you don't have any hatred or dislike of anybody. Monk-like. Okay, take care.
All righty. Thank you, Kelly. We appreciate it as always. Samantha's next from Colorado Springs, Colorado. Born April 23rd, 1981.
Okay, it's rare, but you have an African spirit. One that I'd say came from Northern Africa. He is powerful in that he has magic around him. Magic is where you understand the world in a different way than everybody else, and you can alter events. So when you have a spirit like this, it's sort of like having a genie next to you, and you may have made requests and had them granted when you didn't really want them to be granted. Like a little child, wishes that somebody would leave and then they leave. It's similar to that, because he's very powerful. In Judaic tradition, they call him the Golem. So he's there to grant your wishes. So wish wisely. Wish wisely so that both of you can be redeemed. Okay, and then let's see what the gift is. The gift is be vigilant. Wish wisely. Be vigilant. Be sure you know what you want, and then make your wish, and the two of you together can change the world.
There you go. Okay. That's cool.
Yeah.
Okay, how about Dan from Chicago? April 14th, 1964 is when he was born.
Okay, Dan. Imagine the middle 1800s in London, and the art of chivalry was there. You have a spirit with you that's incredibly chivalrous, very attached to the right way to act with women, the right way to act in general, to be able to show the light side of being, the righteous side of being. The problem is with this, when you have a spirit like that, they also usually, it's like two sides of a coin. They might be really righteous and really wonderful, and then they flip. And then they can also be like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. So with him, you want to say, how's that working for you? Okay, we'll be righteous, but you really should move towards the light. It's important because in the light will be all the people you helped, and then you can proceed onwards. You can learn more things. You can change the world. So The same thing applies to you. Once you learn to move forward, your whole world is going to change, and it's going to change for the better. And then your gift is, oops, let's see here. Protect the wild and the green. I love that. So it's about ecology. So maybe that is what you're going to move to.
What a cool card. We show that for a little forward a little bit. That's a neat card.
Mm-hmm. Protect the wild and the green. I always think like nature like that.
Yeah.
So if you're too stuck in doing everything the right way, this is going to open up the doorway for you to look at things slightly differently and maybe make a real difference in the world. Okay.
All right. You know what? I think you can do it there, Dana.
I think so.
All right. Dion is next.
Dion.
Okay. August 3rd, 1997, from Brooklyn, New York.
Okay, well that's kind of fitting because you have the Fire Knight, Dion. My grandchildren like the different Marvel comics, and they watch the Green Arrow, and they watch the Flash, and all these different kinds of comic book characters. But the comic book characters are archetypical, and in this case, Dion, you have that avenging kind of a fire spirit where you don't like things to be wrong as far as you're concerned. You're powerful, and you want to change things, and you're fiery. But sometimes you got to tamp it down because you tend to like burn everyone around you. So what I'm going to suggest is to tell the spirit to calm down, ratchet the flames down. Who is the human inside of the spirit? Who is the real person? And learn to feel. And the spirit has to learn to feel too. That's important. So you're going to help the spirit, and he's going to help you. And then let's see what your gift is. All of this is nice. Observe in silence. It says instead of being fiery, you need to take a deep breath and just observe. You don't have to manipulate anything. You don't have to go out and save the world. You just have to observe. That's all it takes. Okay, take care.
All right. Thank you, Dion. Okay, how about Michael?
Okay, Michael.
September 16th, 1953.
Oh, Michael, this is a really good one. It's the homecoming night. I'd say probably 14th century, finally being able to return. So he's the knight of hope. He tells you to care. He tells you that all the struggles that you've been through are going to move you along the path and finally to being home and being filled with joy. And the two of you together coming home, you're going to help each other. So he'll be released from his duties, the vows that he took, and so will you. Exciting. And then this one, your gift is nurture all you love. Exactly that. It's to, and there's a difference between protecting and worrying for those you love and coming home and nurturing. It's the difference between fighting against the enemies and coming home and burping the baby. Right now, you're going to be in a nurturing state. You're going to come home and everything is going to change. You might miss the way of the night, but that's okay because this is going to honor you way more. Okay.
All righty.
We have 3 more I can do, and then we're going to have to end.
Okay.
So let's just see where we are. Yay.
Okay. Let's see. We just did Michael. I'm so sorry. Is that
Constance?
Constance? It's Constance from Parts Unknown, March 14th.
I think Constance is from Florida.
Okay.
You have the spirit of a young woman, a beautiful young woman next to you. No matter how old you are, her light will shine through. It's called the reincarnation close under the skin. What it means is she is so present in you that the difference between where you are personally now in this world and where she was is very vague. So when people look at you, they probably blink or close their eyes and shake their heads, because you appear as a totally beautiful young woman, even though you might be getting on in years or feeling that you're older. What people are seeing is this young woman inside of you. So the key, though, is young women make mistakes, and you want to give her the gift of your wisdom. So here's my wisdom, here's what I've learned along the way, and then she in turn will give you the gift of her vigor and her excitement about life. So this is a very wonderful partnership between two spirits. It also means that all of her memories are your memories. It's sort of like when the Dalai Lama comes into power and he goes and picks the things that he had in his past lives. It's similar to that. So it's called A Past Life Close Under the Skin. And then let's see what your gift is. Your gift is to nourish your soul. Look at that. It's the panther with
Wow,
the
that's
eyes
cool.
of fire. It's just really, really good. So apparently she wasn't a sweet maiden. She was a fiery maiden. So stay fiery, Constance.
Okay, thank you, dear. We appreciate it so very much. And let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Can you do 6 more, Amy? That's all we got left. That's all we have left. Okay, Ute. October 25th, 1953 in Illinois.
Okay, Ute. You have, he's like the warrior monk, or the spirit of light. I'm trying to think of who we would have in different mythologies. The protector spirit, the Thor, the guy with the hammer. He is somebody I do believe who actually had, I mean, he's not just mythological. He's actually talking to me. He's saying that he comes from the 14th century, and at that time, many of the children in his village were being taken slaves. The Vikings were, he says, coming up the river, and he defended you, and he defends you now. So if he's there defending you, that means there's something to defend against. So I would be careful about decisions I make. I would be careful to take care of myself. I would be careful, for instance, not to work at a place that sucks your soul, not to get into a relationship that's going to be dangerous, because he feels his job is to protect and care for you, and he's not going anywhere soon. So do him a little favor so that he doesn't have to be eternally vigilant. Try to help him take care of you, okay? And then let's see what the gift card is. Oh, this is beautiful. It's the eagle, and it's embrace spirit. It's allow yourself to be cared for, allow him to look out for you, allow him to care for you, and then the two of you will be released so that you can soar like an eagle, just like that song, Dave.
Actually, that's fly like an eagle.
Oh, fly like an eagle.
It's the same thing.
Ding.
Okay, next up, let's move along here. How about Bob? June 29th, 1973, from Chicago. And he's curious what, I believe he feels that there are some spirits following him. He'd like to know what they are.
There are indeed, Bob. You have one of the cards that indicates an actual haunting. So you may have always wanted to, quote unquote, see a ghost or prove that a ghost is there. This particular spirit is female. She probably came from, the time of the knights. I would say, and I'm going on a limb here, that she has something to do with the Isle of Malta. So if you really are seeking out the spirit, you might be able to find her actual origins on the island. There is a castle in the background and then the sea. And so apparently she wants to be with you. She is attracted to that which you were then, and probably what you are now. But if you're doing experiments, which I feel you are, if you're doing experiments, you may wish to ask her to help you to prove the existence of spirits. And I think you would be surprised because she probably has some tricks up her sleeve. She's very powerful, and that's why I say to prove the existence, because she has ectoplasm swirling around her, which means that she can actually move objects and turn on and off lights and do those kinds of things. So you might want to do some experiments, and since she's quite close to you, she'll listen to you. So it would be, let me know, because it would be a very, I've never seen a unique symbiotic relationship like that happening, where you could do actual experimentation with it. So there you have it. And then your gift card is do not fear the unknown. So don't be afraid to go ahead and do it. Don't be afraid to cross over. Don't be afraid to see if she can't communicate to you. And if you can't communicate to her, take care of it. Okay.
All righty. And next up we have Kathy. She was born March 13th in Illinois.
Okay, Kathy. This is a questing spirit. Down here is the Holy Grail, and he's up on a horse, and he's searching. So the spirit that's around you is a spirit that's searching, and that constant search might actually make you feel restless. So you might always feel as if you should be doing something else, or if you should be seeking in another direction. He needs to give up the search and be in the present, and so do you. The two energies always attract each other, so it's important that you pay attention here. Because if you say, the Grail is in your heart, you haven't lost it, and you say that to yourself, the joy and the visions that you have for yourself are in your heart, and you haven't lost them. And you will have them once you give up the search for them. See how that works? And let's see what your gift card is. Change is unavoidable. Life is change. And so once you give up the search, then something else will appear. Okay, take care.
All righty. Thank you very much there, Kathy. All right, we're coming down to the wire, Amy.
Dave, are you just kidding me?
No, I would never do that to you. All righty. Hey, this lady said that your reading last month for her has been spot on.
Oh, I'm so glad. That's really good.
All right. Hey, 1 out of 1,000, isn't bad? Just joking. Just joking. Okay, this is Karen, January 26, 1963, from East Chicago, Indiana.
Okay, Karen. This is the ghost ship. There are many, many legends of ships sailing the sea that are unoccupied except for ghosts. It means that there's a part of you that isn't attached to you. A part of you that's always seeking, a part of you that's on that ghost ship with the spirits and not present. But there's a man here standing on shore, and he's waving the ghost ship in. So what this is saying is that that mystical part of you, you have to integrate it inside of yourself. I can't really tell you how important that is. So that the ghost ship comes and it actually joins together with the man. If you continue to travel on the ghost ship, you won't have a full life. And let's see what the gift is. Dun, dun, dun. Need and necessity. So you need, of necessity, to be present for yourself, for your family. And then the part of you that is wild and in spirit and travels, when you bring that part home, it'll be just as exciting to be home as it was to travel on the ghost ship. Okay, take care.
Okay, thank you very much, Karen. We appreciate it. All right. Be quiet.
Yeah, shoot.
Be quiet.
That's so exciting and interesting, and he's just yawning away.
Katie's next, Amy. January 13th, 1967, from Willowbrook.
Okay, Katie, you have a goddess spirit. There's a temple around her, and she's doing a ceremony. She's raising up her hands. There's no moon in the background, so she is definitely earth goddess, or a goddess that has to do with the power of fire and light. And you know, just because Grandma isn't necessarily with you, please don't feel slighted. Grandma might have been the goddess, actually. She might have been the one who when she went to the other side, metamorphosized into this very beautiful and powerful woman. What it means is that you have to let that inner goddess out. And what does that mean? Well, it means to know how powerful you are. And to not say, hi, am I powerful? You go, I am powerful. There's a big difference. So accept your power, accept the power of the woman who's standing next to you, and you're going to change the world. And then let's see what the gift is. And the gift is here. When you change the world, you're going to love without any conditions. You're going to be the passionate goddess woman. So that's really exciting. Okay, sweetie, take care.
All righty. Thank you very much.
Okay.
One more, Amy. Next up, we have Amanda. And don't forget, everybody, of course, just a real quick reminder, want to tell everybody, don't forget, Healing with Spirit is the subject of the next mediumship and psychic development course, or class, actually, happening week after next, Thursday, December 15th, from noon to 2, and then the 16th, the next day, from 7 to 9 in the evening, the same class.
Okay, and then next week we're going to do Working with the Archangels. I love archangels. And I'm actually an angel channeler. I channel archangels. So it's going to be very interesting. We're not only going to use cards, but we're going to do some channeling to answer your questions.
All righty, so
Okay.
Here we go. Amanda.
Amanda.
May 29th, 1982 in Illinois. Amy, this is reading for this show.
Okay.
Reading number 48.
Woo! Oh, I'm glad you didn't tell me.
A new record.
Okay, Amanda, you have the Jester, Coco Pele. You have the Trickster, okay, next to you. It means that you yourself can be funny. You yourself can, you have a way with words. You yourself can change your world. But be careful about your power. You actually want to use the power of the trickster for good. And you want the trickster to reveal the truth to you. So only the jester has the courage to tell the truth. So the trickster won't really hide the truth from you. It'll be right out there in front. And once you accept it, then you can actually change things. So he's a really interesting spirit to have around you. And then let's see what the gift is. And the gift, love that you are different. Isn't that nice?
Yes.
I have to I'm gonna wear this. I'm gonna make some jewelry out of it.
Oh, that's another cool card. Let's see it.
Love that you are different. Love that you are
That's definitely different.
different than everybody else. It's okay. It's okay.
It's okay to be different, yes.
So that's for Amanda, and I really want to thank everybody. This has been so exciting, and please share this on your timeline. Share it with your friends.
And don't forget, readings make a great gift.
Readings make a great gift.
$1 a minute gift certificates.
630-554-5040, and I'll actually, we do have event up on the website, on the Facebook page, so you can look at that and click it and communicate with us about getting a reading. Thanks for listening, and we got up to 1,700 views last week, and so we're hoping to crack that elusive 2,000 mark. Take care. See you next week.
Bye-bye, everybody.